What is up, my silver and gold stackers? This is Barnon 11970, and as always, I thank you for watching my video, and hopefully you guys are enjoying your day, getting ready for a nice cold weekend. Well, at least you live in the East Coast like I do. All right, guys, we could see the metals basically starting to stabilize at this point. One thing I want people to know, the people that are in this for the long term, and the people that have the gold and silver, and they get all these videos about over emotional things, making you second guess yourselves. As we see, silver has not even come close to 26. You have to understand that there are going to be times where there's going to be corrections and pullbacks. This is normal. We've seen it dip to 26 multiple times in the past year, year and a half. It's right now at 28.75, so it actually gained back a little bit because it was in the around 28.50 or a little bit below that earlier a couple of days ago. We see gold up a little bit, but stabilizing right now a little bit under 1600 at 1581. Again, people are saying $900 gold and $10 single digit silver. I mean, that's just talk. Anybody can pick a number and, have nothing to base it on other than ridiculousness. Palladium's actually on the rise again, currently at 741. So I was actually given some good advice when I bought palladium back when it was about 696. So I'm still ahead of the game on I only have 1 ounce of it, but hey, better than nothing. And platinum right now it's hovering around 1613, still above gold, but down about $10 for today. So I just want people to know I understand people get worried. They base things on emotion. This is the oldest trick in the book. They get a rise out of people, get them like into the gold and silver or stocks, whatever kind of investment, based on emotion. Then all of a sudden, every Tom, Dick, and Harry starts investing in it, and then they just pull the rug out from under them, and then they end up, everybody panics. They sell all their positions where these people buy it up at discounted fire sale prices. So this is why I don't sell my gold and silver. I have no need to sell it. Obviously, if you're one of those people that, you need to pay your mortgage or you have a car payment or, something comes up and you have to sell some of your gold and silver, I mean, that you're using it for a legitimate purpose. Now, just imagine if you didn't have that gold and silver, what would you do then? Because I've had people from time to time email me saying, well, I hate to do it, but I have to sell some of my silver because of the fact I had, to repair my car or something. Well, just imagine if you didn't have that gold and silver in your possession, then what would you have done? Because a lot of times when people have money, they tend to spend it. And I would rather spend my money on gold and silver than to buy a new high def TV to watch all that television programming that they love to give us so well. I'm not into buying junk anymore, especially after I learned my lesson 4 years ago when I bought a high def TV. It was a 65-inch full 1080p DLP TV, and it lasted 2.5 years before it completely went out. So they will never get another dime from me again. I would rather spend what little money I have on protection, which is gold and silver. So I love these dips, and I always find it funny because I remember when silver was up in the 40s to the higher 40s, almost to 50. I had so many comments that I used to get on my old channel and so many emails from people saying, "Oh, I missed the boat. I sure wish I could have some dips. I missed the opportunity to buy at the lower prices." Well, now all of a sudden we're getting these lower prices. So many people are so worried about it. I don't understand that. Just don't base it on emotion. If you haven't seen any of my videos before, check out the videos I did earlier in the week about the gold and silver charts, and it will basically tell you everything you need to know. Basically, when you see these kind of dips, you just wait a couple of months to a couple of years, which a couple of years means no more than 10, but the average is about 5, and you'll see great increases. I mean, just look at the price of gold and silver just 5 or 6 years ago. So that $50 raise and that almost $1,900 gold spoiled people. But we are going to get pullbacks and we are going to get corrections. But this one doesn't really concern me much because it could not get past below $28 as far as silver is concerned. Now, could it lower at another time? It sure could. But until it goes below 26, I don't know why anybody's worried. And even if it does, those of us who buy it, why wouldn't you want to buy it at discounted prices? Because that's how the wealthy get wealthier. They take advantage of the people who use emotion to do what they do as far as selling their positions because of fear. that they're actually persuaded by people on YouTube to make them think that gold and silver is going to become worthless. I mean, if that's what you want to believe, then sell what you have, and then the smart investors will buy it up at cheaper prices. So this is not going to stay this way forever. So I don't understand the mentality of some of the people thinking that, somebody like myself will be upset if the price goes down. I know it's not going to stay that way. And the fact that no matter how much paper they're pumping into the system, it went from 31, which has pretty much been the average for the past couple of weeks, to 28.78 now. And it didn't get below 28. So remember back when it was hitting 50 or almost 50, and then you saw $5 drops and $3 drops. You don't see that anymore. So it's just showing that the game is not as easily played as it used to be, because more and more people are understanding that the physical market is the way to go. And I guarantee you, if you look on eBay, you will not even find a 1-ounce silver bar going close to $28. You'll see it at 35 to almost 39. There's going to be a separation of the paper price and the physical price. So let it drop all at once. As long as people are willing to sell their positions, people who know what's going to happen long term are going to buy it all up. So I don't see, it's a win-win to me. If it goes lower, I'm buying it at a cheaper price. If it goes higher to the point where eventually 5 years from now, if there's no collapse, I could turn around and buy a house with my gold and silver, then hey, I'm glad I waited. But I'm not going to panic. Back when I really wasn't sure what I was doing back in 2010 and the beginning of 2011, I based a lot of it on emotion. Well, you know what? We all live and learn. So you do what you want to do ultimately because you are responsible for your decisions, but don't panic. Don't watch a bunch of people's videos and say, oh my God, they're scaring me into selling out my positions. Because honestly, do you really think they care whether you lose or make money? And honestly, do you really care even if they did? I mean, unless you're best friends with these people and you see them every day and they help put food on your table, you really don't care what anybody else says. Care what you do and what your family says. That's the most important part, including somebody like me. I'm just giving advice based on what I do. That doesn't mean I expect anybody to follow me. And if they don't agree, that's their choice. A lot of things I talk about, you don't have to agree with. I just share them because there are people who care enough to listen. So with that being said, if you have physical gold and silver, don't worry because you're not worried about today. You're not worried about tomorrow. You're worried about the fact that the Fed and the government is not going to turn around and do the right thing. They're not going to stop printing this money, and it's just a matter of time before it gets too much that it will explode. All bubbles pop. So this is the one thing I got to let you know about. So if you think your government is doing a great job, if you think all of a sudden they're going to be full of integrity, if you really believe everything that they're trying to tell you out in the public by saying things like they could potentially stop printing the money, then absolutely believe them. That's your choice. I guess we'll all find out in the long run. I'll sit here and wait. I'm in no hurry. So do the same. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Enjoy your weekend. And if you live on the East Coast, stay warm. Peace. Have a good day, everybody.